Hello, everyone. Kenyon here, Basketball Rewind. And guess what? We're doing an award show ahead of the end of the season. We have about, 10 games left, I think. So we're getting to the end. It's probably enough time to kind of assess whether or not someone is going to be an MVP. Approximately, I mean, those things might change. But, without a further ado, I think that this is a good time to do that. We're not going to be doing the teams, all NBA, all defense, and all that, and all rookie until maybe next week or the week after. So stay tuned for that. Like, comment, and subscribe on your way in or on your way out, of course. And, again, if you have thoughts, you disagree with our stuff, leave a comment. We can talk about it. But either way, I think it's without a further ado, let's get into it. Also, we got to talk about the coach of the year and those type of awards as well. I do have a question for you guys at the end as it relates to defensive player of the year, though. But we will get into that as we go. How are you guys doing? Beyond you first, and then we'll go to coach.
Hey man, I'm doing great, man. Spring is here. I heard my music start playing. That's the Masters music, boy. There's certain things that I know it's spring. March
April.
Madness, the Masters theme song. There's certain things I know where it's like, okay, we got spring coming, man. It's a wonderful time. Of course, the boys of summer. Those are things tell me I know spring is here. I'm happy about it.
No doubt. I'm excited for the Masters this year. Of course, unfortunately, a certain someone tore their ACL, and I think that is done for that. We won't get into that too much, but it is sad to see the end of that man's career. And I was actually talking to my dad about this, just to go on a quick aside here, and we were both saying like if he would have. This kind of relates back to basketball. It's like if you do certain things early in your career in terms of development wise, it can really change the course of your career in terms of the longevity of it. I really think looking back, he had a swing that was just too aggressive, and it wasn't a sustainable swing in terms of the physical nature of the swing for those of you who are into golf. So
I
anyways,
would say, and I would compound that with something that actually came out in a book that was written about him. I think they did
mhm.
a documentary a few years back. My father said so for years. The weightlifting, man.
Yes.
The weightlifting is like, dude, man, you're a golfer, man. You're not going out here to be Mr. Olympia. Like, if you're a golfer.
Yeah, I mean, like you could do the weightlifting, but I think you for golfing and honestly for a lot of sports, just focus on the core strength.
Right. Core strength and flexibility, man. That's it.
It goes a long way in literally every sport, and it's not. I'm not here to. I don't know his exact regimen, but yeah. Anyways, coach, you're how are you doing?
Good. I'm not a golf fan, although I do play some golf online. But when I'm golfing, pretty much I'm having a few sodas and I'm not very good at it. So that's my extent of golf. But like Beyond said, spring for me it's March Madness. It's baseball season that's starting this week as well. So I'm excited about that. And the nice weather, I can hear the cardinals singing. I'm a bit of someone I like to listen to birds every once in a while.
So
Nice.
at least they're better off than the Louisville ones.
Yeah, that was rough for them.
And speaking of which, we will be getting into draft talk on another episode of Basketball Rewind. So again, stay tuned, of course. But yeah, it's the Cardinals outside definitely are doing better than the Louisville ones. Well, without a further ado, I think it's time to get into who you guys think is going to win the Rookie of the Year. It's been an interesting one. We knew it was going to be an interesting year because, of course, this past draft was a interesting draft class. It was not the most highly touted. Had a lot of good high end level role players. There's a few guys coming on late in the year as well, but I don't know if they're going to be coming on enough to really stamp into, hey, I'm the rookie of the year just because of the games played. Coach, I'm going to go back to you. Is there any one that you want to talk about? Name one name and one honorable mention for you.
For Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
for me, it's Castle. I think Castle's been the most consistent this year. Had Wemby not gone down, there's a chance that the Spurs might even be in the play-in tournament in the
Yeah.
West, which is particularly tough. So I think Castle's been the most consistent this year. My man Jarrett McCain, he was rolling to start the year, but he went down with that injury. So I got to go with Stephen Castle, and I will give an honorable mention to Alex Sarr. I think Alex Sarr is actually right there for me. He is second behind Stephen Castle. Sar, unfortunately, is just on the worst team in the last 10 years, the Washington Wizards. But he's shown enough this year. He's progressed throughout the year as well in terms of his offense in particular. I already knew Sar was going to be a defensive stalwart out there. I know we were all high on Alex Sar going number one. He should have went number one in my opinion, but I have him number two behind Castle in the Rookie of the Year running.
Yeah. You know what? You know me, man. I had two guys I thought would be stars for this draft, and Coach mentioned both of them. Castle, I was like, look at my chops, boy. If we had, I ended up get that pick, I was there targeting that dude if it wasn't gonna be Sar. And right now he's averaging almost 15 a game right now. And this is what I'm talking about, right, folks? When we talk about this, I don't want to get into a Raptors discussion, but I'll just put it this way. When people say take the ball in this case here and run with it, this is what I'm talking about. So folks are dropping like flies for the Spurs. And Stephen Castle says, never fear, Stephon is here. And he takes the ball and says, like, yo, that's what I'm talking about, the mentality. It's like, yo, we're good, fellas. We're good. And that's what I'm saying. We ain't got to beg anyone. We got to push reps or nothing like that. It is just like, yo, I'm ready to go.
He did have his moment of, don't worry, I got us, hashtag prove him.
Right, exactly, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like some guys, you don't need to kind of push them and try. It's like, please, drink this. No. It's like tell me when. I won't go Sar. Obviously, I love Sar, but I'm gonna go.
Not enough games, yeah.
Yeah, not enough games, but not necessarily that. I want to give a shout out to some other guys in this case here. Two guys. One guy I was not as impressed with when we did draft talk last year. He ended up being the number one pick overall. He's had some nice moments this year. Mm-hmm. I'll give him credit. Rishi has been better than advertised. I'm giving him about 12 a game. He's had a couple 30-point games this season. And I'm like, okay, there's something more here than I thought. I thought he was a classic 3 and D. There wasn't much. But late in the year last year, we started seeing a little bit something else. And it has carried on to his career in his first year. So props to him. But the guy I really want to give a shout out to, man, young man out from Memphis, man, Jalen Wells. My goodness. Coming out of nowhere. Man, had double digits in points, giving about 3-4 rebounds, same thing in assists. Like, where did that come from? Like, so he's a dude right now. It's like he might get second or third on a lot of people's ballots in this case for Rookie of the Year. So I just want to give him a shout out too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think good point. I keep forgetting about Jalen Wells. Just because he's on such a good team that you just don't really think about him. He has had some big moments, but obviously he is on like that type of a team where, he is good enough to get some play, to get some run. Of course, he's played 71 games, but at the same time, it's like, they have Gigi Jackson, who's, actually working his way back. They have a lot of guys. They actually just traded away Jake LaRavia just to, help create some spots, which shows you how good he is. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, the way that I look at it is obviously Stephen Castle, I think, runs away with it when all is said and done. I think you guys gave good shout outs to the people. I did write, there's two people that I wanted to mention. I don't think they're going to win it, but there's, it's important. Shout out to Mouth of the North, Khalil Ware. I think is doing his thing steadily throughout the season. I think he ended up at the right place for him. And he has, put together a nice season. I think, was it blocks, I think, the other day, where he's 91st percentile in blocks for the entire NBA. Entire NBA. So that's, it doesn't get much better than that in terms of impact. And he's flashed a little bit of stuff on the offensive end as well, which we knew he would.
They're letting him play. They're letting him play his full game, man. He's out there cracking threes like
They've moved Bam to the 4 now, because of Ware.
He should have been
smart. Yeah,
he should have been there for years.
If we did move up because of the coin flips, he would have been a very interesting person as a Raptor. None of us disliked him because there's this weird thing. It's like, no, we actually advocated for him. It was just more of like,
him. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, is the coaching, does he need a best friend and a hug? or as they say, vibes. Ever say, oh, Scotty's good at giving people hugs and stuff. Does he need that type of a thing, or does he need a bull pistol, right?
I think it's the latter, based on the fact
Yes.
his college coach and Spo. I think it's the latter.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
that's Woodson is known as a tough coach, and that's what Woodson got the most out of him, and Spo's getting a lot out of him. So, kudos to him. I think the other thing, obviously, you said Rishi, but there's one other person that I think that hasn't gotten enough run, who's kind of slowly put together a consistent season, and their improvements is what is getting it for me. Obviously, I should also say Edie has put together a solid season,
Yep.
but I mean, it was a high end role player draft. This is what was expected. But I think from a non Raptors perspective, of course, it's just because there's not enough, minutes and consistency there to really get there. It's actually Matas. You guys know I was a big Matas fan. Holland has had moments recently as well, but Matas to me really has put together. I mean, he dropped what 30 on the Warriors the other day. Like the dude is fearless. We knew he would be, and his game has improved throughout the season.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah.
It has.
Moving along, most improved. So there's a few people. I'll start off, just to kind of get it. I have three names that I wrote down. And I have it on the other screen over here. Tyler Hero is one, although I'm not sure how I feel about it because he has shown himself to be good in the past. So I think he is going to be in the running for most improved for sure. Norman Powell is a name that is not often talked about, and should be talked about more. I do think that he got a little bit robbed from All-Star, and that's okay. But I do think that he should be in the running for an accolade this year, and that would be most improved. There's one final guy that is going to be a bit controversial, I think. Now let's see if Beyond can guess the name. That's my hint. But what I would say the downside of it is he did show a lot in the previous years. So I'm not sure how I feel about this name, but I'm still going to toss it out there because I always thought that the thing is going to be minutes played. Want to care to guess who I'm guessing or no? No, but Malik Monk's on my sixth man. It's actually Cade.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that Cade showed enough last year to be good. It's just more of the minutes played, not being injured and all that. But he has also improved considerably. So I think, he should be in the running for an award for sure, an individual accolade. But I can understand them saying, well, I mean, he showed enough. So to me, out of it should be Powell. I forget who I went to first. I think I went to Coach first, so I think I'm going to go to Beyond this time.
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it short. I think that I think Norman Powell. This is his award in my mind. Like, I mean, because like, let's put it this way: for folks that want him in the All-Star game, here's your bone here. As far as I'm concerned, you blame your teammate in this case because he got your slot. But I'll give this. I think Norman Powell is the pick for me for most improved. It took me a minute to kind of get my head around it because most improved hasn't been discussed much this year. Your Cade sentiment, there is precedent of guys that became all-stars. So I think Hero fits more of that thing where you're more of a lower draft pick, and then you became an all-star, a la Maxey, a la Siakam.
That's why I feel like I'm like,
When you're the number one pick overall, it's hard.
It's kind of like, to me, I'm like, he's playing up to expectations more than like, I know some people will have him there. So,
when we get the all NBA picks, but I think Norm is the guy. I would say, I think he's the guy. Unless I'm trying to run through my head, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. There's all great picks you mentioned, but to me,
Coach?
he's the guy.
For me, it's when I think of most improved, just someone who's had the biggest jump. And for me, it's Dyson Daniels. This guy was averaging less than 6 points a game last year and 3 rebounds. Now he's averaging about 14 points. I think he's the steal leader at 3 steals. Like, he's going to get votes for Defensive Player of the Year.
The great Barry
So,
I was a Dyson Daniels fan for a couple of years.
Yeah, for me, it would be Dyson Daniels. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if Norm Powell gets it or Cade Cunningham. I already view Cade as like a really good player. It's like the year John Morant won Most Improved Player. Like we already know John Morant's as good. He's had to
You're
be
right.
healthy.
That's the best
So,
example. Yeah. Where it's like,
but
really?
for me, who's had the biggest jump, I think Dyson Daniels, what he's done at both ends of the floor, especially defensively. I never saw this coming for Dyson Daniels. So I hope he gets some votes.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick, coach, because I think the offense is what surprised me. Because when we were talking about trades and there's like all sorts of OG or Siakam trades and the Gales get tossed in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
always kind of like, I like the height and size. You know me, I like a big guard. I don't mind the defense. But my
Yeah.
thing was like, and this dude actually be a functioning offensive player. I'm like, sure.
And he's a great fit next to Trey Young. I
He's
think
been
he is.
fantastic this year. Yeah,
100%. Because of him, we were able to, or they were able to move off Bogdanovich, which I mean, Bogdanovich is a good player, but his knees have seen better days at this point of his career. So yeah. I mean, just to wrap that up, I mean, I'm not gonna switch my pick. I gave my pick. That's Powell, but
Nope.
that's a really good pick, Coach. It's a really good pick. It's kind of funny because as we go through it, the Hawks have kind of have
Yeah.
been lost in the shuffle of the season. The season's quite long, so yeah. We move along to the sixth man. I have two names. That would be Peyton Pritchard, of course, with the Boston fans, and the other one is Malik Beasley. So yeah, Coach, your thoughts. I don't know if you have another name that you want to toss out, but if not, yeah, like who?
For an honorable mention for Most Improved.
Sorry, no. For a six man.
Oh, sixth man of the year. I like your pick of Peyton Pritchard. That guy has come in. He's defended well. He makes a big difference on offense. Just any games that we've watched with Toronto, he comes on the floor. It's like, who's got this guy? Who's actually going to guard this guy? And he's so good at moving on the floor. He's got a toughness about him I really like. I'd have to roll with Pritchard. It's a good pick.
So just to give some difference of opinion, I think Pritchard's probably going to win it. Just to kind of make sure you have a Celtic with their season. But I'm gonna go with my man here, man. Down the street, the 401, man. I'm gonna go with my man, Benedict Mathurin. That's who I'm gonna pick. Give me about 17 a game, and let me tell you something, boy. He doesn't fear the big shots. Let me tell you, he's made some shots late in games this season where it's like, here, I got this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Mathurin. Indians having a really good season. They are playing like on fire the last month or so. Like they've been a battle of hell. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Mathurin just for to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah. I think that those are good picks. I mean, I think Peyton Pritchard's it, but Mathurin, I don't think he's quite there yet. So that's why I'm just like looking at the things right here. It might become an efficiency and wins argument or whatever, but he's a good pick. And to be honest, Mathurin really should be starting, in my opinion.
You know that, and
But
don't want to tell Rick Carlisle that. But if he's gonna be coming off the bench, I'm gonna try to award my man.
just saying, is in terms of
I've
like,
been trying to get him in a red and black and white uniform for years.
yes.
Or the other one in Portland.
Yeah, he'll come. They'll come home eventually. People don't think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just gotta have things ready and put in place.
That's right.
That's all. That's all. Moving on to the coach of the year. I mean, you could say Jordy if they didn't neuter his team. Honestly, but I won't go in that direction. I'll just give three names. Bickerstaff, of course, rises up. So
Yep.
yeah. Kenny Atkinson is another, and Ime Udoka would be the other. I'm not sure if there's one that I'm missing out of there. I don't know if you want to put the Thunder, but I feel like if you were good last year and you continue being good, let's get some fresh people in. Unless you were like so dominant that you won like above 60 games or whatever, and you're on pace for 72 or whatever. Fair enough. That's a whole different story.
That's why Phil Jackson never won it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think Phil Jackson ever won Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Maybe he won it once, maybe, but yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm still formulating my thoughts. So I'll go with the other. But I do lean towards either the Houston man, or Kenny Atkinson, from just an overall standpoint, mainly because, Cleveland was largely the same team, and they've just like really performed well throughout the entirety of the year, much better. And from a defensive standpoint, they've unlocked a lot, but also offensively, they've unlocked Mobley in a lot of ways. So that's kind of why I lean towards Atkinson.
I think it's his to lose, so I'm just gonna be straight. Like it's Atkins.
Okay.
Let's call it what it is, man.
Yeah.
But glad my man, you gave love to my man JB because I love that pick when we got him. I said, okay, this is the guy that knows how to deal with young players and can get the most out of them.
He was the right pick for Detroit.
Right. Certain coaches are for certain stages of your franchise. I'm gonna throw another name out here, man. Hey, some folks in this case here find him abrasive, find him cocky. He comes from a college I don't care much for, but
I know who you're going with.
But man, he makes one hell of a mean podcast or two, but he's a damn good coach.
Oh, man. Okay. I thought you were gonna say Tibbs.
Gets some love because he's about to get about 50 wins.
Yeah.
And he literally had 3 iterations of a team this year. He's had the LeBron AD team. He had the LeBron without AD team. So don't forget, people forget AD was hurt when he got traded. So they're going for 3 weeks without him.
And then he got hurt again.
right. And then Luka was out. So he had LeBron without Luka, which you want to combine that as one, just a LeBron only team. And then he had the LeBron Luka team. And he's had some nights where he's had none of them. And he's still winning games. So JJ, as I said before, I like Darvin Ham, but I understood the move. I wasn't so oh my gosh, you got rid of Darvin Ham or they got rid of Darvin Ham. I got it. Yeah. I get it in some ways because listen, I was pulling for Darvin Ham, but even by the time he got the game 5 was like, I can't fight it, man.
I remember you were like,
just the last 5 minutes was just a debacle in every game. And at some point you didn't know when you could call certain things for reviews. There's all sorts of things going on here. And when your star player pretty much tells you we don't know what the hell we're doing the last 3 minutes of the game or whatever, that's pretty much the sign right in the wall. And by the way, that star player was not LeBron James, just for the phone.
Yeah, it was actually AD.
So JJ Redick getting some love after it was a controversial pick by some folks, they thought.
Okay, coach.
Yeah.
Who's your coach?
My coach of the year is Mark Daigneault. Oklahoma City right now has the best record in the NBA, the number 1 defense, the number 2 offense. They've played basically 2/3 of the season. First third basically without Hartenstein, and part of a second third without Chet Holmgren. Yeah. That's been on the backs of SGA and Dort and Caruso. That we saw Oklahoma City come into Toronto. It wasn't
torture chamber.
It was the torture chamber. So I got to get. It's not like they've been particularly healthy all year, mind you. SGA has been, which he's the driver of the bus. But to not have both of your bigs for almost 2/3 of a season and still have the number 1 defense is quite miraculous. So I got to roll with Mark Daigneault, and I got to give beyond. I'm going where he was going too. I give JJ Redick a lot of credit this year because there's coaching LA, which is one thing. There's coaching LeBron, another thing. There's coaching Luka Doncic, another thing. All 3 of that in there, plus the pressure of just Laker dynasty stuff. And then I look at Austin Reeves, what he's done. I look at our man Malcolm North Dalton. His man Dalton Connect's been pretty good rookie. Jackson Hayes, ever since the trade, he's been serviceable. I give JJ Redick credit. He's going to be a good coach coming into the league. That's for sure.
Coach, man, I'm surprised you need to take a few points off for your man from OKC for playing some of these tricks with the substitutions, man.
Oh,
my man, Coach Nick.
I saw that. Yeah.
Coach Nick was all over him on that one. It's like, props out to Coach Nick. B-ball breakdown, man. Definitely a fun to watch. That's my place.
It's all right.
Playoff time, folks. There's no better place when you want to break things down in the playoffs than my man, Coach Nick. So shout out to him. But he was coming after your man. I say, I've been making breakfast. Like, come on, we gotta be better than this.
Fun fact of the day: he shares my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who, the coach or Coach Nick?
Yeah, Coach Nick.
Daniel or Coach Nick?
Yeah. None of you gave love to Ime as much as I thought you would, but hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Houston was showing promises last year.
They were.
So that's the reason why.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I did say that they would improve last year. They did, but they didn't
Exactly.
fly quite as high as I wanted them to.
Yeah.
I've been saying it all the way through. I'm like, yeah. Anyways, so
Do it. Emi definitely should get
Oh
some
yeah,
consideration too. Yeah,
just
but
watching Houston though. But Eamon Thompson, this is a young star. He's a stud man, and he's the league's going to be on notice for the next 10 years
well,
dealing with him.
and the crazy thing is literally yes, they are twins, but like they are doing both insane things.
yes, I'm about to say because right now he's making. I won't go on here. I won't talk Detroit business out loud here, but there's certain decisions right now making me wonder a little bit moving forward. I'll leave
Yeah,
that.
we'll talk about it after because there is a Ron Holland element in it as well as an Ivy element as well
Yeah,
down the
well,
road.
that's the thing I don't really want to say.
Yeah,
I know,
and I
I
think
love,
Ivy's the decision that's coming sooner rather than later, and we'll
yeah,
see.
man, I like my man, boy, but
I do like Ivy as well. I mean, we saw him this past year. He had that
yeah,
ridiculous shot, which is not a good shot, but it dropped.
between Thompson and Holland, boy, things making things very interesting. I'll just leave it.
Very interesting. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I think that about covers it. Except for there's two more awards left. That is Defensive Player of the
Oh,
Year,
this one we're gonna have a battle about. I know
right?
this.
And the MVP. So let's just get the MVP out of the way because I think we all know. Okay. So who's your guys' MVP? Who wants to go first?
Really, we got there's only 3 letters to discuss right here.
Okay, fair enough. The coach,
Yes.
do you want to make a case for the other man?
Numbers wise, he has the case, but I think narrative wise, he does not now.
Yeah.
Really?
I just think that
You look at every advanced number, even the basketball reference probability has Jokic. They're just basing that on the numbers, I'm guessing. But
Okay.
for me, last year it was SGA. This year it's still
we can have a
SGA for me.
discussion now. We can have a discussion.
I'm not debating you. I'm just going by what the numbers say.
can I just say that there is an over 10 win gap.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There
Yes.
is a 10 win gap.
Like I see, this is the part I don't get with all these advanced analytics dudes. Okay, I'm talking to y'all out here. Okay, straight, because I don't get this. You all want to have a certain set of rules for this one man, but when it came to this case, for example, Westbrook, you all of a sudden dismiss like, well, he's a 6th seed in this case here, and the triple doubles, the analytics for him. Like, oh, all of a sudden now you're trying to use the analytics against Westbrook, but now it's Jokic because he's an analytics darling now. We're gonna like, you know what, we're gonna give it to him. Why are we giving it to him in this case here? He's got the same record for about 5 other teams in the league. I could make an argument for LeBron.
Yeah, if LeBron didn't get hurt, and there'd be a stronger case for LeBron if they didn't trade for Luka, which sounds ridiculous, but there was a solid case for LeBron.
I disagree. Actually, I think that makes his straight case even stronger.
Oh, you're because of the defensive
Because
aspects.
the fact is, right? Because all of a sudden now he's playing with Anthony Davis, winning. Play without Anthony Davis, winning. Play without Luka, winning. Playing with Luka, winning. So I can say, you know what? The one thing that's been the straw that's been stirring the drink throughout the whole season is number 23 in purple and gold. With all due respect to everybody else.
He's
So
put together one hell of a season
Exactly.
after the Olympics, so he can't. He doesn't get the same excuses as Embiid. By the way.
Oh, by the way, my leadership in this case, and the team's leadership, we had a rookie go AWOL pretty much for the last 30 games of the season. Now he's putting up 35 a night.
True, that's true.
Right? Oh, that little thing there. Oh, yeah, my son, who in this case everyone's talking about. Oh, yeah, he's already looking pretty good now, too. Now no one talk about that no more, are they, huh?
So to get back to Shea.
Because you're right. That is where it should be. Because I don't know, all of a sudden now, being the number 1 seed now is an offensive thing now. All of a sudden, man putting up historic numbers and leading a team, to Coach's point just a few minutes ago, that had front court men dropping like flies in this case here. And all of a sudden now, because I wouldn't give that to Daniel for that reason. I would give that to SGA for this reason. It's like, no, dude. And I'm sorry, man. I'm going to say it for what it is. Jokic is a fantastic player. Jokic is probably one of the best 20 players ever played the game.
He might be one of the best offensive players of this decade, for sure.
I'm sorry, man. There's a bit of a cheat code going on here with Jokic, man. I'm sorry. There's a bit of a cheat code going on here. Because in this case here, if I'm going to run all my offense through you, and I got like 7 guys I'm playing every night, you're going to get a lot of numbers. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean,
SGA is my pick. He was last year too.
So like this, man. Let me tell you something, man. They should start burning down the NBA offices if they don't give this award to SGA, man. I'm serious.
No, I think they will, but I'm just saying. The numbers part. Jokic is 3rd in scoring, third in rebounds and second in assists. Like, I mean, he's putting up historic things. And
Okay.
I can see some of the judge on the panelists going like, "Oh, we can't ignore the numbers,
Hold
even
on.
though it's SGAs."
Historic is the key word you said there, Coach. Let me use some other historic numbers. I've never seen in this case, quote, in this case here, he would be a 3-time MVP at this point if he win, or 4?
I think he's 4
So
now.
4. So it even makes my argument stronger. You telling me you ever seen a 4-time MVP only have only one championship, been in one finals appearance?
Well, you
I
have
don't
now.
know if it's been done.
Really?
Potentially.
Huh? No. I tell you the answer. No, never. No. The only guys that had 4 MVPs, pretty short list, easy to remember. One guy named Michael Jordan, one named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another guy named LeBron James, and I think there might be a 4th one missing out here.
Maybe Bill Russell.
Maybe Bill Russell. Look at the guy we say, maybe Bill Russell, and you're gonna tell it's just that dude, maybe Bill Russell. You're gonna tell me.
Well, Bill Russell played both ends of the ball too.
Right. Oh well, we're going to start with that.
But let's.
I'm saying is,
hey, he's on my Mount Rushmore.
Those 4 guys in this case, there are only 4 guys in this case that have 4 or more MVPs. And look at the resumes we're talking about. And this dude here might get knocked out in the first round in about 3 weeks.
He got swept.
Give me a break.
Just saying.
I'm just going to be curious to see how the judges and the panelists do this, because SGA was my MVP last year, because I think records matter. I think if you're the best player on the best team, I think that should go for something. But SGA also is third. He's tied for second in steals, so it's not like he's not playing any defense.
Well, exactly. They had a stat. I came across the NBA ticker on my app yesterday, which I was like, wait, I have to look at it again. Where he is now one of like 5 players in NBA history or something like that. Is Durant, all-time big-time scorers, Chamberlain. When you got Chamberlain on the list, you know you in some serious company, Chamberlain. And they said where he's had like something like 60-something straight 20-point plus games or some type of stat like that. They had like 5 dudes on the list, like Durant, Chamberlain, and some other big-time scorers. I'm like, Jordan probably's on the list too. I'm sitting there going like, dude, we can't be doing this. Last year, the argument was pretty much they all were tied as the number 1 seed essentially. Fine. Yeah. You can make the tiebreaker thing. You want to make the argument for thing. I threw out Anthony Edwards as like, hey, just as an FYI, you might want to consider him a little bit since no one thought Minnesota would be there. Yeah. Everyone thought Denver would be there. And SGA and Oklahoma City thought would be better, but we all thought they'd be pretty good too. But they're fine. All the Jokic folks, fine. You made your argument last year. They're all essentially at the same record. But you can't come with that nonsense this year. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No. I mean, I agree with you. My only thing with SGA is simple. I was talking to people recently, and the argument was, well, he's on a good team. Well, he went without a center for a huge, 2 centers, both centers, for huge portions of the year. So
narrative matters.
Narrative does matter. It really does. So that's the first thing. Yeah. And the second thing is that people were like, oh, well, and this is like months ago. I just kept quiet in the conversation. I said, okay, right? And they said, oh, well, he's only going to, he's only going to win it because of the narrative from last year, because they feel like he got robbed. So he should have won it last year, but he doesn't. No, he should be winning it, especially since he is 10 points higher. He's been steady Freddie the entirety of the season. Okay, been a cool cat. Hasn't I've seen people say, "Oh well, let's see." Well, let me tell you something. Jokic just had some really really good games, but he has also had a couple games. I'm not gonna go pick him out like a nitpicking person, but he has had some couple games this season which were not amazing.
That Laker game I watched on the Saturday night.
Yep, where they pushed him out into the high mid range, and that's where he struggled and stuff like that, and guarded him with the forward.
OKC has 10 games left to go. If they go at the typical pace they go at, they usually win about 8 of those 10 games. Let's assume they win 8 of those 10 games.
Jokic could win every single one of the remaining games and not catch up to OKC.
Oh no, I'm not going that. I'm talking about going back to coach's word. In this case, it's historic. If they win the 8 games that we're talking about, they usually go at that pace. That will put them at that point at 66 games to win. That's one of the best teams record-wise ever.
Yeah.
66, folks. That is Bulls 90s.
I think it's behind the Mavericks with 68.
Bulls 90s. That's the Mavericks that year when Dirk won it, by the way. When Dirk won it, by the way. Okay. That's up there with Golden State. when they won 70 something. Those are the type of teams we're talking about. If they win 8 of the next 10 games, which is quite plausible. So like this idea where like what are we talking about here? These analytics people gone mad. They've gone mad. Anyways, I'm done with that. Like,
Okay, so I didn't know we were gonna have such a lively discussion for the MVP.
No, we're all saying SGA. I believe
Yeah,
all three of
yeah.
us. I'm just curious because when you look at some of the numbers and the probability, Jokic is going to get vote, and I think it will be close. But I think SGA, this is
it
his to
shouldn't be
win.
close, honestly.
I thought it was his last year,
Giannis should
and
have another
and
one, by the way.
and I'm a Jokic fan. He's my second favorite player
Yeah,
next to Dame Lillard in the league. But
right.
this is SGA's to win.
I'm so glad Kenya made that little comment just now, right? Because these analytics guys like to shift the ground when it suits them, right? Because they're all upset because someone took their talents to South Beach. They got all upset and they got all fretful about how dare he do so. They decided to give the award to a guy who might end up being the only player ever to win an MVP, not make the Hall of Fame. Yeah. That is what they did. They own that. That's them.
Wait, which person?
Derrick Rose.
Oh,
right. That's them. That is their handiwork. But the metrics, their analytics that they like to say, that arguably might have been LeBron's greatest year ever. That year,
it was a pretty damn good year, yeah.
Defensive player of the year that year, probably. Yeah. He still got gross about that one. That's the one thing he gross about. Most things he don't care about, but that's the one thing irks him.
Yes.
You know, and here we are because they want to take out their pound of flesh. You know, but they're the analytics guys that tell me they're not about that. But all they're on their feelings that year. But now they want to come here. Now they want to have a sober look at the numbers and give me a break.
It is shame. It is shame to quote Darko.
They should revoke people's passes in this case here. The commissioner revoked them because they deserve the responsibility for this, man. They give this to Jokic.
I mean, I understand the analytics argument, but I think it doesn't matter. So yeah. So DPOY for me, it's Mobley. Yeah. Thoughts? Some people might say Dyson Daniels, so I'll say that as well.
You still ain't give the name yet.
I know who your name is, or I think I do.
No, I said Evan Mobley.
No, man. You better go down if you're hey, let me tell you something. You're a music fan. Go down the.
If you're saying Jaren Jackson Jr., he missed some games.
How much games did he miss enough to not qualify?
It's close.
I think he's still got enough to qualify.
Let me just.
Jaren Jackson has actually.
If he crossed the threshold, then it's Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson played 64 games, it says.
Okay, sorry. Because I saw him get injured. I knew it was close, so yeah. Okay, if Jaren Jackson is healthy, then it is his. If he is not healthy, it is the other guys. So if Jaren Jackson doesn't play one more game, it is Mobley's. Mobley should be number 2. Mobley does deserve to be number 2.
One more game. So let's and ironically, Jaren Jackson, for a guy who's had a reputation for injuries in this game, he's been the healthiest
all
year, as well as last year, by the way. So
I give him credit. I give him credit for that.
Whatever health issues had early in his career, that needs to be done.
And I'm a big Jaren, Triple J fan as well. So
he's the best Grizzly out there.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, he is the defensive player of the year, man. Stamp that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So I guess I'm the tiebreaker, am I?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Because these two are my 2 finalists right now, but I'm leading Mobley for now.
Okay.
And this is why. Mobley's a 97th percentile defender. Now Jackson's really close, 95th. That's how close this battle is. Versatility.
They've been
Mobley's
better with
a bit
him
more
off. Or sorry, on. And Allen off in terms of Mobley.
Right. I think Mobley being on the best team in the East, we've seen that. I think Mobley and the mobility this year. So he's one of 7 players contesting at least 10 shots per game. He's 10.4, and he's the only one not a true center doing it. So I think Mobley's been asked to do a lot this year defensively, whether sometimes play center, sometimes play next to Allen. This one's going to be close between Mobley and Jackson.
Question. Just looking here, maybe I'm just an old-fashioned guy. I know all the numbers and analytics guys, but maybe I'm just an old-fashioned guy. I just like to look at the games. Who's the center playing beside? Who's playing?
But I just told you the thing. The on-off numbers show that they actually are better defensively without Jared Allen.
Yeah, but still in this case here, when I look at their team in this case here and who they have going there, we look at Jaren Jackson here playing with, no disrespect, a rookie center, and then also in this case playing with a rookie wing and playing with John Morant. Now,
also Desmond Bane. Also Marcus Smart for a portion of the season.
portion of the season. Marcus Smart was hurt like half the time. I barely saw
Okay,
Marcus
but
Smart.
they say
I
it
see
still
Marcus.
hopes.
I see Marcus Smart more in a Wizards jersey now, but funny enough, more so I've
Yeah,
seen him in a
that's
Memphis
fair, but
jersey.
I'm just saying, you know,
All I'm saying is,
rip to Clark because Clark is out now, but
right,
he did have
there we
Clark,
go.
So I'm just
I'm just,
saying, like, it's not like he's gone, you know.
look, man, I like Mobley too, man, but I mean, I just need to see Mobley. Make us back in my mind. I need to see Mobley prove this thing in the fall, in the spring, man.
Hey, he's proven the defense. The
I,
defense wasn't the
I'm not
problem.
saying he's not great defensively, but I think he's a step below the guys. By the
Like the defense has always been there. So him proving it ain't the
yeah,
defense
but
that he needs
there's
to prove.
levels to this, as the kids say. I'll just say this, man. I'll put the horn out for my man. I'm on fire today. I'm putting the horn out for man. I'm putting the horn out for my man because Big Vic, this was your award.
Oh no, he doesn't get hurt. It's his. It's his for the next
no.
10
That's
years.
without
Yeah.
question.
Horn
I'm not mentioning Webb because he is
Yeah.
Big Vic,
he is
man.
gone. He is gone
Big
from the
Vic.
ethos for now.
It was right there
Yes.
in our hands.
Yeah, but that's how close this battle is when we can kind of like Mobley or Jackson. We could see either winning this. I picked Mobley. I think the way that I took it is Cleveland's got the bit better record. Mobley, I think I think Mobley on the perimeter has been a big difference for me, especially this year. Triple J, we all know like this guy's top 2, 3 deep defender or the best defender. Like it's not going to shock me if he
2 years
wins
ago,
it, but
defensive player of the year, and then before
yeah.
that, he was in the
So
running. So yeah.
I think that's going to be a very close vote between these two. This will be a closer vote, I think, than SGA and Jokic.
Should be.
Should be. I don't know why they're close at all, but yeah, it should be.
Unless my man Dyson Daniels is going to win, I got him promotion
And
proved.
speaking about MVP going back there, man, give a little shout out to Donovan Mitchell, who's getting no love for MVP. Like,
Well, there's
Well,
a long-standing debate between me and Mouth about how good Donovan Mitchell is, but I will leave that for another day.
well, who's my number three right now, an MVP candidate? I might get some heat over me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me tell you something. I have him as 2, so you ain't getting any heat from me.
The Donovan Mitchell thing, I know he has struggled in recent games, so I will say that down the stretch, but he was injured recently, but he is going, the end of the season has not been like the brightest for him. But as I said, for Cleveland, just to wrap up the whole discussion, for Cleveland specifically, they need to prove it come playoff time, and not just him, because I don't think I know a lot other people say he is the problem. He is not the problem. There are other people that need to step up, and that's it. I'll leave it at that.
The player of the year, man. I'm watching him very carefully in these playoffs.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Hey, he gets
that's
stuff
fair.
up.
That's
and
fair.
also Garland. He's the other one.
Yes, Garland is really yes. So
That dude's beyond a milk carton in the playoffs, man.
So we will see. With that being said, good discussion. People like, comment, and subscribe. And I think
all NBA teams.
this has been good. All right. Take care. Peace.